Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 178 of Lonely Gods. I'm your host, David, and I'm joined here, as always, by Kate.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Kate. It's been a little while.
It has been a little while. You know, we got a couple comments on a comment on Random Assault page asking where we were.
Well,
if we were still going. I never bothered to make an announcement. I'm lazy. I was getting married. You were getting fucking butt.
Still getting ready to move to the other side of the country, so we'll be on the same coast. That'll be exciting.
Hell yeah! Well,
yeah. But I've been missing the Doctor Who. I've been really wanting. We tried to record, and life happened.
Yeah, life comes at you fast.
Yeah.
But we're back.
We're back
again after one of our many hiatuses.
Yeah, but this one was tiny. It was only a couple weeks.
Yeah, I know.
Like a month.
Oh, I know.
So, do we have any Doctor Who news, Kate? It has been a month.
About 1,600 pounds of Doctor Who news, I guess.
Really?
Well, I mean, sort of. So, I don't remember if we mentioned this before, but now that Peter Capaldi is no longer the incumbent Doctor, Big Finish does have the rights to him in his era, I guess, which should be good, I guess.
Yes.
But anyway, so the first thing they're doing with that, I guess, is in the upcoming River box set, they're doing a Masters box set, I guess. And so they're having Missy in the River Song thing, and then the other master they're using, which is a really weird choice and actually much more interesting to me, is they're using the Eric Roberts master from the Paul McGann TV movie, which is the first time that Eric Roberts has been back to the roles in 22 years, and I'm surprised that he did, because he's like just some American, actor who always plays villains, and so I'm not really sure why he'd even be interested in coming back. I hear tell too that he was kind of like an asshole on set, but whatever. It's a thing.
Well. What I want to know is, are we getting pre-Vault Missy or post-Vault Missy? Because I like the second one a lot better.
I don't know. I mean, it's mostly kept kind of sort of under wraps because Big Finish leaks like a sieve. But I mean, they haven't really given too many details as of yet. It is yeah. I suppose I could go and look up the actual news piece, but it came out about 4 weeks ago, so I don't really know what to tell you.
I want more Peter Capaldi. I really do.
No, absolutely. I mean, he's definitely, from what I could tell, he's been asked at conventions, and he is interested in doing the audios at some point, but not like immediately, because like he just left. So that makes sense to me. But
he, like David Tennant, I find to be incredibly compelling actors. I've seen them in other roles as well, and I've always there's never been a performance of theirs I did not like. Not to say anything, disparaging about Matt Smith or Christopher Eccleston. I don't actually know if I've seen Matt Smith in anything else, but I've seen Christopher Eccleston, and he can be hit or miss. I mean, I suppose they didn't give him a lot to do as Destro, but that movie was bad. But whatever.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He was in the G.I. Joe movie as the metal guy.
Oh yeah, he did that for money though.
I know he did that. He does that sometimes, and he acts like an asshole about it. It's like, well, you did it. You don't have to be a prick.
Sure he does. What are you talking about?
So that is exciting. What else?
It is exciting. What else? So in another like horribly, terribly kept secret, the Class is coming to Big Finish for audios.
We talked about this already.
No, we didn't. We said it was probably happening because all the actors were posting. Yeah, all the actors were like posting pictures of each other in the booths, like on their Instagrams and shit. But it wasn't like official. So that's what I'm saying. It's a terribly kept secret. But now it's official that Class is coming, and so there's a couple of details that were interesting. Is that there's going to be 6 new episodes, and there's going to be 2 volumes of 3. And one of the volumes, I guess, one of the episodes, sorry, will have Daleks and Ace in it, so that's kind of neat.
I did not do the thing I said I would do and finish watching Class by the time you finished watching Class.
No, you didn't.
I did not bother. I did. You know what? I caught up on Red Dwarf instead.
Well, I mean, that is a better show, but...
It is a better show, and then the last season was actually pretty good. I feel like Red Dwarf, like Trailer Park Boys, has found a comfortable place, and they're just going to keep going there.
I hope so.
It's not as good as it once has been, but it also is better than it has been.
Well, I mean, there comes a point where things are, you know... Familiarity breeds contempt, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
I suppose.
And that what was groundbreaking 30 years ago is not going to be edgy anymore. And for me, that's okay, because I still get entertainment value out of it. And I don't expect it necessarily to be, you know, shocked and or to have my mind blown. So yeah, comfortable is good. I'm fine with that. But anyway, yeah. So Class is coming back. Daleks and Ace, or Alex and Dace, they're coming to do the thing. And but what struck me as bizarre was that apparently these audios are not going to be resolving the cliffhanger at the end of the season. They're going to be set during season 1, which is weird because there's only 8 episodes total, and they all have a pretty tight continuity. So I don't really see where there's room for that to happen. It seems like a really weird choice, especially because half the reason that people kept asking Big Finish to pick up Class was to, you know, resolve it, because there was a cliffhanger to resolve it. Although, I mean, that's not to say that this is the only thing they'll do with Class, and I'm sure they will make a season 2 audio at some point. I mean, that's what they did with Torchwood, where they started out with well, I say monthly, but it ran for 6 months. It's like the half-yearly series of audios set at random places, and then they did the season 5 box sets over the past year. So maybe they'll do that. But I would say like Torchwood has a lot more ground to cover in between episodes. And
did what's his face come back for the season 5 box set?
Mekhi Phifer.
Yes.
They did not. No. They I mean, obviously it's post Miracle Day, but yeah, and they're back in Wales. So Rex is still in America, I believe.
But I don't even know if I want. Like, I want that part of the story. I liked that part of the story. But this is not important right now.
Well, I mean, it's not terribly important, but just bear in mind that most of the audience hated Miracle Day. So
Miracle Day was poorly paced, but it was really good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like it. But anyway, yeah, no, I did finish Class, and it was a pretty neat, pretty all right show. I enjoyed most of the episodes. As with,
I really liked the premiere, and then the tattoo episode wasn't bad, but it was very odd.
Well, it reminded me of the kind of thing that they would do on Buffy, which is exactly what they were going for with Class. So it felt like a pretty much what would have been if the show wasn't killed. What would have been kind of a typical case of the week sort of episode. So it was fine. There was really only one. There was only really one episode that I didn't like, and I guess I can't really go into it because you haven't seen it. But basically, it involves the nice girl having to emote and be angry, and it is not believable, and it's kind of sad. But I mean, it did sort of. It was just strange to me that they would, and this is the problem I'll get into when I talk about season 10 as well, that they would occasionally kind of just stop the episode dead in its tracks to just make weird comments about things. Like the black girl, there's more than once in an episode she complains about how her white friends just look down on her and probably secretly hate her, and it's like, what is your problem? Like, that's totally not what's happening, and only like 2 of your friends are white. And it's just weird. It makes an otherwise likable character come off like kind of a prick, and it's just strange. Anyway, but overall, Class was good. I'd recommend watching it. I'm not really quite sure why it died, other than the fact that the BBC put it on BBC Three, which apparently I've been told is no longer an actual channel, but more of a online service that nobody uses. Probably had something to do with it, maybe. But yeah, I'm not. I don't think that. I don't think that it necessarily should have failed. I mean, if they had done a little bit more with it, then it probably would have been fine. But they did apparently rerun it, like, actually on BBC, and like they had a bit of a spike in ratings for the first episode because people wanted to see Peter Capaldi. And in case you've forgotten, there was no season of Doctor Who in 2016. It was just the Mysterio special. So, you know, I guess people tuned in for that and then kind of buggered off because they didn't really care about anything else. But and worth getting. I mean, the Blu-ray in Canadian anyway, the Blu-ray was about $25. So, you know, for BBC, that's pretty cheap, and it's worth a shot, I think. I just don't know why Big Finish decided to cram the audios inside of a season that really doesn't have room for it.
To test, well, I don't know.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, okay,
to test
so
the market, so then they can make. If you buy it, then they'll make you what they actually want.
I guess so, but it's like 8 episodes, and there's 2 two-parters, so you can take 4 of those episodes off the table as having any gaps. And the rest of them do still have pretty tight continuity. So I don't know. Whatever, Big Finish, whatever. I'm actually kind of surprised that that they didn't bring back the Class kids in the main series. Because I think there was, especially with Bill being at the university, I would have thought there was kind of opportunity to bring in, you know, those younger cast members, like the episode where she's like looking for a new house with all her housemates. Like, you could have filled those out with Class characters, I think.
I liked that episode.
It was all right.
Yeah, it wasn't like amazing, but it was interesting.
It's probably the most averagest of the season, I would think. It's the most okay-ish. So yeah, I guess that's really mostly what I have to talk about. Is I've seen not only Class but also the Mysterio special, and then I guess season 10 of this awful show that we like so much for some reason. So I'm sorry, but I never warmed to Nardole. John liked him a fair bit.
Good, because Nardole's awesome.
But I found him extremely annoying. Not to the point of Missy, where I'm like sitting there being like
upset and angry.
Upset and thinking that the episode is worse for your inclusion.
Just
that kind of like low-key Victoria, I don't really like you and I kind of want you to go away sort of hate. You know what I mean?
Did you agree with me that Missy is much better in this season?
Better, yes, but I mean, I like that's kind of damning with faint praise.
I think they explored some interesting character stuff in this season with the Doctor and the Master.
If it was with an actress that wasn't insufferable, I'd agree with you. But I just don't like Michelle Gomez's take on the character. I don't like that she's Mary Poppins, and I don't like that she's a dingbat. And I think in the finale episode when she's with John Sim, she's handled well because she's dialed back. And John Sim is far better than he was before as well, I have to say, because he's got a stupid disguise and a goatee. And so that's pretty like classic Master, and that's all I ever really asked for, is just beautiful. But yes, and the two of them killing each other was pretty good too. That was pretty awesome.
Yes.
But, no, but it's like it's just that like I really enjoy season 10, and I think that as with most of Capaldi's run, it's like the most consistently good runs of episodes that we've had since probably Donna left.
Yeah, nothing
like it's been a long time since the show's been that consistently enjoyable, and like episodes like Oxygen with the space station, like that's like proper sci-fi, and I mean, Nardole aside, I mean, Capaldi is probably the best actor they've had to be the Doctor since the show came back.
I would agree. I think Capaldi's really an incredible actor. Oh,
absolutely. And he's going to have a great voice for audio.
Yeah.
And
he fucking nails he's the first Doctor, I think, out of all of the new series Doctors that feels like he he would fit completely in with the classic series. Like they all
absolutely.
fit.
That's probably why he's my favorite.
But he is a classic Doctor.
Yeah, definitely, and I think his episodes reflect that. Like the episode with the Ice Warriors on Mars, or well, yeah. Oh wow, the Ice Warriors on Mars. No, but the Ice Warriors are on Mars, and they're like with the red coats or whatever that are there.
Yes,
like that felt like such a classic Doctor Who sort of style of story. You know, it's like the Doctor's trying to make peace, everyone's being stupid, people are falling in holes. Like, you know, it's perfect. And you know, Bill, I like Bill most of the time when she's not making weird comments for no reason. And I appreciate very much that she's just a companion for once, because it's been a long time on the new series since we had a companion who was just a companion. She wasn't like some cosmic fucking mystery that had influence on the Doctor's entire life secretly that no one else ever saw. Like, she's just a person who the Doctor made friends with and came with him. And that's great. And I really appreciate the fact that, especially like throughout Capaldi's run, but especially in season 10, Stephen Moffat really dialed back that sort of like clever circle jerking, back patting stuff that he would do with Matt Smith's storylines.
I really liked Bill. I thought she was a great companion.
I just wish, like, I liked her too, but and this is really my only problem with the season, was that every now and again they would just kind of stop an episode dead and make weird comments about stuff. Like, Bill was complaining about food sexism. Like, what the hell is that even? And then, like, in the finale, like, her last words to the Doctor after she's had a hole blown in her and turned into a Cyberman, which, by the way, was fantastic, because taking that spare parts flavor and making that into a TV episode was a good decision. But like, her last words to the Doctor are, "Oh, by the way, don't forget I like girls." And it's like, what? Like, why would you undercut and waste an opportunity for some sort of emotional, like, character building exchange for that? Like, I'm not even mad, but like, why would you do that? That's just it. And that's the thing. Like, I just want to make it clear, I'm not pissed off about politics in the show or political jokes. It's just like, what the fuck? It's just strange.
They killed two companions.
They did, but like, I don't know. It's these kinds of things are like, they're not handled with any kind of like symbolism or subtlety or anything. It's just like, hey, orange president, and it's like, okay, good for you. But yeah, I mean, I thought Oxygen was probably my favorite of the season. I really liked the Cyberman two-parter as well. Really, I mean, like, these complaints are really like, they're minor things. It reminds me of, like, you know.
Did you like the pyramid?
Yeah. Okay. So when like that trilogy, like the first part where they were in like the virtual world, that was really cool. And then the second part, with the pyramid thing, and it's like, do you want to consent to my like monk corpse cock making the world a better place? That was it was all right, but it was a lot of standing around and talking and not much happening. And then the third episode was basically a retread of the Master trilogy from the Martha season, and I didn't like that the first time, and I don't really like it now. So that was really like, it started out really strong, but it was kind of a dud by the end. And honestly, that's like the only episode of the season that I didn't care for, was that last monk episode.
I liked the actual. I really liked the season premiere.
The pilot. Yeah. No, I think it started off really strong, and I think that's one of the things that I appreciated about the early season, is both the pilot and the episode following that. Smile's
great.
They were I wouldn't say they were like blowing the doors off the thing, but again, in contrast to Stephen Moffat's like other foibles as a producer, this was very solid, like straight up Doctor Who with a normal companion telling normal stories, or at least as normal for Doctor Who as far as Doctor Who goes. And, you know, it wasn't overcomplicated. It wasn't told in reverse. It wasn't, you know, a 16-part epic that didn't make any sense. It was just like, you know, it was just solid storytelling. And it's like he dialed back on trying to like out clever himself and just tell a story, which is really all I asked for. And it made me think, because like this last season, I'm like, why didn't you do this like the last 5 years you were in charge? Like, why are you only doing this now?
I know, and it felt like Heaven Sent brought us to this like really high point, and then we hit a good stride after that, and this and all like most like there's some missteps in season 10.
Yeah, well, and I don't really care for Hellbent either, but you know.
No, well, we're not talking about the. I'm skipping that.
Yeah, let's just pretend that didn't happen. I don't buy Immortal Clara in a flying restaurant because that's fucking retarded.
And I liked. I thought Mysterio was decent. Like it's not.
I was
amazing.
like, okay, I have to tell you, like, going into this, especially knowing Doctor Who being the kind of show that it is, like, going into, well, not just like I'm like, okay, there's a Christmas special with Santa, that sounds stupid. There's a Christmas special with superheroes, that sounds stupid. And you know what? They were both pretty fucking good.
Yeah, no, like Mysterio isn't as good as Santa, but it's good, and like, and the like the reason behind the superhero stuff is really well done.
It's like that. It's a Doctor Who cheat where it's like, oh, he swallowed the thing, whatever. But like, it's not the focal point of the episode, so it doesn't really matter.
No, but
it feels very much like a superhero movie of the kind that you would have found in the 90s.
Yeah,
you know, and it was just it was fun. And so I have my doubts about superhero Goku, but I mean. It worked well.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's Goku. He's on. Yes, he's in Shameless.
Well, I mean, if I was in that movie, I'd be pretty full of shame. But you know
what I mean. Shut up, Kate.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, season 10 was great, and I'm well, great except for there's random scenes where Romans sit around talking about who they like to fuck and who they don't. But other than that, it was great, and I am excited to see the Twice
I liked that episode
and finish off Capaldi's run and be caught up and yeah.
I forgot that story was in.
We'll see. Eaters of Light.
Yeah, I really like that story.
You know, well, I don't. It's again for me that it was average, but it was interesting because this is actually that episode is the first time that a classic series writer has written for the new series, which is like, why did that take 10 seasons for one thing?
I like language. I like when they talk about language and what a powerful tool it is and stuff in stories. So
they didn't really talk about that all that much, other than the fact that Bill's like, "Oh yeah, the TARDIS translates."
They talked about it because it's the whole reason they stopped fighting is because they understood each other and they could actually talk.
Well, I mean, I guess so, but I just don't think it was too major of a plot point. But I was also probably drinking by that point, so. It's all right.
All right. So you ready to talk about our actual stories for the week?
Yeah, holy fuck, I guess so.
So we have 3 audios here, Fifth Doctor and what?
No, I'm just thinking to myself like, man, I don't remember fucking anything. I listened to these like between 3 and 4 weeks ago. So
yeah, me too. So the first one we have, I remember enjoying all of these to varying degrees. There weren't any I disliked.
Yes, you are correct.
So the first one is called...
Your opinion aligns with mine. You are correct.
Phantasmagoria.
Phantasmagoria. Yes, this is...
It has nothing to do with the stupid video game.
Oh god, that fucking game. That's so stupid. You know, okay, just like total aside, Phantasmagoria, like I've had Jamie, our listener / friend / guy, Jamie, suggested to me like, oh, you guys should stream Phantasmagoria for Halloween on your other channel. And it's like meme parts are like the last 10 minutes of the game. The rest of the game, fucking nothing. It's like 5 discs of nothing happening. It's almost like Web Planet. It's just like, it's not good. Anyway,
that's not true because the Zarbi are all over fucking Web Planet.
Yeah, but they're not fighting Iris in a deadly game of backgammon. So,
well, that's not in the Web Planet either.
I know, but it should be. Anyway, so Phantasmagoria is actually only the second episode in the monthly series from way back in 1999.
Oh, that explains a lot. It's not bad. It's let me see if I remember this correctly. So there's 2 groups of aliens in this
story. Maybe.
We have
So
we have
this is like Victorian era London, right?
Yes, Victorian
And
era
there's a
London.
gentleman's club and
There's a
okay.
gambling den. Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's not a gentleman's club; it's a gambling den. That's
with
right.
Sir Nicholas Valentine, like
What a beautiful name.
character. Then there's he's one alien. He's a
he's a bad guy.
Fugitive alien.
He like gambles with
Mystery
people
Science
and
episode,
he sends them to the Shadow Realm or whatever.
And then there's the aliens hunting him down, including one guy who's posing as basically Robin Hood.
Who's posing as Robin Hood, who sometimes shapeshift into a maid.
Yes.
Because Turlo like makes friends with these two gentlemen, and like one of their or is it the doctor? There's a professor, and then there's also the two gentlemen. One of them has the shape-shifting Robin Hood alien as the maid.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, and it's like ghostly apparitions because there's mysterious disappearances. People play the game with Nicholas Allsort, and they like have random heart attacks afterwards because there's ghosts that scare them to death that appear. But he's a fugitive alien trying to make his spaceship go, which is like pretty much what most aliens on Doctor Who are up to.
Yes. I remember enjoying it. It was a little messy. I remember, but it was thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah, I mean it's nothing to write home about. It's pretty standard Doctor Who, really.
I remember Sir Nicholas Valentine had like the default Victorian London bad guy voice.
Well, yeah.
Not with that like that it's like that halfway between like proper English accent and like Cockney. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. But it was nice because I mean it's nice to see, and this is true for all these audios. It's nice to see Turlo get sort of solo spotlight as the companion, which is not very common. And we like Turlo because he's a slimy bastard, and so there's lots of good humor and it's pretty it's decently fun overall. I think for Phantasmagoria. This was actually written by Mark Gatiss, who's obviously done the new series and Sherlock and all those things. So yeah, that's Phantasmagoria.
Audios.
Sorry, who?
Chameleon, the robot.
No,
the shape-shifting robot that's still in the TARDIS that we don't talk about.
Yeah, no, he's currently acting as the coat rack. Yeah, I don't know. No, they haven't used him in any audios so far as I can tell. I don't really know why they would have, because I mean, all the problems with Chameleon were really the problems with the prop. So, but at the same time, he's not exactly a popular character, so I'm sure they're not rushing out to write scripts for Chameleon.
So next up we have Loups-Garoux.
Loups-Garoux.
Whatever.
It's French. You don't pronounce anything in French. You just kind of.
Yeah, it's also a common folklore. Well, maybe not super common, but I knew about the Loups-Garoux.
Oh yeah, you've heard of werewolves before, have you?
They're not. They're different. They're technically different.
No, they're not.
Well, it's because they can transform at will. It's not constricted by the full moon.
Well, it is.
I read the Dresden File books.
I don't give a fuck. The Dresden Files can make their own rules, though. That's different.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's the whole. It's like the saying about how do you kill a vampire, Kate?
Steak.
No, any way you fucking want. They're fictional creatures.
Steak.
A big old hunk of steak.
Yeah.
So Loups-Garoux, we're dealing with, of course, werewolves, basically.
Yes, we're in Rio de Janeiro in the near future, I guess.
Train.
On a train. Turlo and the doctor are there.
Yeah.
And there's
a woman with her son who is sick.
He's sick because he's like mode locked into being being a wolf. And that's a problem. And so there's the bad wolf that's coming to Borkat them.
Wolf
so
or
they're
wolf?
a wolf. So there's a bad wolf that's coming to bork at them. So they all like, oh fuck. So the lady and her friends get this on the train to like run away from the bad wolf, who is like, I guess, a bad wolf from the old country. And then sort of they pick on Turlo and sort of try and turn him, but he feels bad, I guess. Yes. It reminded me a little bit of Emerald Tiger, but not as good.
Yeah, pretty much. I enjoyed it, but yeah, no, it was not super high on the list.
I like it. I mean, I especially like the story's take on lycanthropy, and I think the characters they've written well for the Doctor and Turlo, and you know, they're the secondary plot line, I guess, is that there's like this native like Amazonian person, because like in this timeline, I guess like the Amazon forest is now the Amazon desert, and like this like last of her tribe native person is like trading to kill the wolves, and so she kind of meets up with Turlo later, and they have some bromance and kind of, I don't know. I mean, I don't really care about her, but Turlo gets to kind of open up to her. And again, I think it's nice to be able to explore the character like that without having Tegan screaming her head off, or, you know, Nyssa and Adric, or Nyssa and 1,000 other people taking all the focus away. So good. I'm totally incoherent because I don't remember too much of the story, but I remember liking it. So there.
Me too.
This was episode number 20 in the monthly series. So both of these were like before they started using the proper theme song per Doctor, and so I always find that kind of jarring when I go back to like the early episodes. Paul McGann had his own theme song, but they made that one up, so they didn't have to license it. But everyone else just kind of shared the Tom Baker theme up until around, I think, 40 or something like that. So,
well then.
Anyway,
last up we have Singularity, which so this is the weird part. I remember liking this one the best.
Yes,
but I remember the details of this the least.
Okay, I also like this one the best. So this is a story all about how I'm not going to go there. So, okay, so Turlo and the Doctor, they go to Moscow, and again, it's sort of the near future. And so there's this weird foundation that's kind of like almost like Scientology cult, and people go there and they kind of just come, like they don't come back, and they all live in this like weird gay tower, and they're all over the world. And Somnus, I think. Anyway, so they claim basically that humanity's destiny is to kind of like do the instrumentality thing from Evangelion and kind of like merge into a hive mind and take over the galaxy as gods or whatever. And the Doctor's like, that's not how that happens. That's bullshit. So there's a Russian girl, her brother goes there, and she hooks up with the Doctor and Turlo, and they're all investigating it along with her conspiracy theorist friends. And yeah, they go. Then they go back in time to the early days of the research to find out what the hell's going on. And it turns out it's like this time corridor from the future, and it's not aliens. It's actually like the far future humans during the heat death of the universe are like traveling back in time to Earth at that point so that they can like change the course of history and become like all like super cool. So like they're like downloading themselves into other people's bodies basically, and hijacking them and kind of switching places with them. And then so like the normal people have to go to like the last planet in the universe and sit there and be in prison and escape and stuff because Turlo's smart. And that's like the worst summary ever. I'm so sorry, but it's good. I swear to God, it's good.
No, it was really good. I really liked it.
I always like snowy settings, and I like the Russia setting, and you know, it's the I like the idea of sort of direct conflict between Earth and Gallifrey, which is one of the more interesting things that they raised about one of the reasons that the future humans are so mad is that the Time Lords sort of like scooted Gallifrey into a different universe to escape the destruction, but left the humans behind, and they've got this big fucking chip on their shoulder because of it. Which I just thought it's such an interesting idea because, I mean, you know, usually when we're comparing Gallifrey and Earth, we're comparing present day Earth. Like, we don't usually see Gallifrey interacting with humans after they become this big spacefaring empire. So the idea that they would have had, you know, conflict between them is just kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, it was.
You know, it's, and then the other thing that I thought was good is that, so the day that they go back in time to like find the research or whatever is also the day that the Russian girl's mother dies, and she wants to go save her, and you know, the doctor's otherwise occupied, and it's Turlough's the one that talks her out of it, and he does it in such a way that it feels just so true to his character about how he doesn't say, you know, you have to do this for the good of all. It's more that he kind of like berates her into it and kind of like almost bullies her into not doing it, where he's saying, you know, it's like, oh, go ahead and do it, but you know, you'll be killing somebody else's mothers, you know, and who, it's, all you're doing is passing the buck and stuff like that. And you know, by the end of it, Turlough's really kind of, he's painting himself to be worse than he really is. And I just thought that was an interesting insight into who Turlough is, where I think he really does see himself as a worse person than he actually is.
Yes.
So that was cool. That's pretty much all I have to say about that, because I fucking don't remember too much because it's been way too long.
Yeah, me either. But I remember not liking this one at first, thinking it started a little slow, but then as I got into it, appreciating the way it started and really enjoying the way the story unfolded. And it is kind of a mystery at first, and I liked where it builded.
Yeah, they did a good job of building their ideas from something that seemed kind of small until it got kind of like bigger and bigger and more fully more fully realized, and it's definitely helped to stick in my mind better than the other ones, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Sorry for the terrible episode, but I don't remember what the hell happened to anything.
So, yep, that's about it then for this week.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yep.
So you said that when Phantasmagoria was really early on, you said that made a lot of things make more sense. Why? And what do you mean by that?
I don't remember.
Okay, good. We are podcast hosts. We know what we're talking about. All right.
Great.
Great. Good. Excellent. I can see why we get one view per episode.
Hush you.
Shut up.
What are we doing next
week? Next week. We've had a couple of things come out over the course of our lives since the last time that we had a life. So first up, we've got Erasure, which is a short trip from the end of April, and that it's actually a short trip narrated by Narvin, who is the CIA guy from the Gallifrey spinoff, but it's actually a Fourth Doctor and Adric story. So all you really need to know is that Narvin is a Time Lord from Gallifrey who worked for Romana at the CIA. And we've also had the second half of Fourth Doctor Adventures Season 7 has come out, but we don't want to crowd ourselves too much, so we'll just do Erasure this week, I think.
Okay, sounds like a plan to me.
Okay, and so for the Fifth Doctor, we have on audio, we have The Memory Bank and Other Stories, which is another one of those little like four short stories kind of
overdrawn at the Memory Bank
releases. Yes. And also on TV, we have Planet of Fire, which is the penultimate TV episode for Peter Davison. But there's about 600 more audios between now and then. So,
wow, we're back to TV.
Yeah, for one whole week. So yeah, Memory Bank, Planet of Fire, Erasure, Little Respect. It's good. Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yep. All right. We'll be back then with that. Thank you, everyone.
With better memories.
Yes. Bye.